Okay. Now we're getting to the big three. The big three that this show is built on. All the real major build-up and stuff is going to these three matches. And honestly, two of them I really want to see. One of them I'm like, so let's go talk about that one. Brock Lesnar, probably Paul Heyman in his corner, versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels in his corner. No holds barred. If Triple H should lose, that's it for Triple H. He must retire for good. Though, retirement matches in wrestling. How many times has Kevin Nash lost a retirement match? I lost count. Anyway, the reason this is the match that I'm like, you know, I want to be excited for this match. Because I want to see Triple H just beat the ever-living crap out of Lesnar. I do not like Brock Lesnar. And I want to see Triple H bury him. I mean, bury him at WrestleMania. But I'm not. Here's why I'm not excited for it. Well, okay, I say I'm not excited for it. I'm nervous about it. I'm worried about it. SummerSlam 2011. Wow. SummerSlam 2012. No, SummerSlam 2011 was a great show. SummerSlam 2012 was a bad show. Anyway, the main event of SummerSlam 2012, Brock Lesnar, Triple H. Me and my two friends, me and Jason Blake, we sat here, we watched it, and that was an absolutely terrible match. Terrible match. Major disappointment. And that's practically the reason why we bought the show, to see that match. And it did not deliver at all. It was horrible. It was Kimura Fest, is what it was. It was just so painfully boring, so painfully slow to watch, and I have no intention to ever watch it again. That match left such a bad taste in my mouth. That's why I'm nervous about this Triple H Brock Lesnar match. Now, having said that, it's going to be no holds barred, which should mean it's going to be more. And I don't mean to sound barbaric here, but it's going to be more brutal. It's going to be hopefully more entertaining than the first match. The whole retirement angle, wasn't Triple H already in some kind of retirement anyway? So he's coming out of retirement to fight to stay out of retirement. Anyway, it's a hard match for me to call. I'm not talking who's going to win. I'm talking like, will it be good? I don't know. I hope it's good, but because of the SummerSlam 2011 match, why did you say 2011? 2011 was John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE title again. That was an awesome match. Why do we keep saying that? SummerSlam 2012. Lesnar, Triple H, this left a bad taste in our mouths, and I'm hoping for the best for this match, but I mean, hopefully it's good. Hopefully, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna suck. I hope it's probably gonna be watchable at least. You know, it's probably gonna be watchable. But just the fact that it's no holds barred should add something to it. And for some people, having Shawn Michaels in the corner of Triple H will also add something to it. Having Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, and Shawn Michaels both there will probably add to it. And I'm probably all wrong. It's probably going to be a great match, great brutal fight, but I just can't help myself. The match at SummerSlam 2012 had that much of a bad taste in my mouth, so I'm hoping for the best, but I'm scared. Who do I think needs to win more? Here's where it's tricky. Lesnar, of course, is supposed to stay around more. The rumor right now has it that he's going to do some kind of program with The Rock, either this summer, starting this summer, and again next year's WrestleMania. That's the current rumor going around. So, on one hand, you want Brock Lesnar to remain like a dominant force to be reckoned with. I mean, so far he's 1-1 in WWE. He got beat by John Cena at Extreme Rules 2012, yet he beat Triple H at SummerSlam 2012. So he's 1-1. So having a Triple H win, having the Brock Lesnar win over Triple H will really help him stay dominant in the company. But on the other hand, if Brock Lesnar wins, Triple H is no longer wrestling. Which, yeah, that day is coming, because Triple H is ever so slowly, fully transitioning to his backstage role, to where hopefully one day he's going to take over the company from Vince, but that day's probably long, not anytime soon. But the reason why he's not wrestling full time anymore is so he can focus more on his backstage role. So maybe he will lose this match, and he'll be fully committed to being backstage, and maybe on camera, just as the COO or just as the GM, whatever he wants to do. So maybe Triple H will lose. However, should that happen, I'm not going to be happy, because I don't want to see Brock Lesnar win, because I don't like Brock Lesnar, but I will understand a Brock Lesnar win. If Brock Lesnar wins, I will understand why he wins, because he needs to look strong, he needs to look dominant, and by having him put Triple H in retirement for good this time, that will fully establish himself as a beast character. That a beast character that needs to be taken down, needs to be controlled. So who needs to win more? I guess Triple H, because he needs to keep his career, but Brock Lesnar needs to win more. Who do I think's going to win? I thought Triple H was going to win at SummerSlam, but he didn't. But it's the rematch, so I think Triple H is going to win the match, but Lesnar needs it more for the future. But Triple H is going to win. Alright. We talked a little bit about a controversial storyline earlier with Swagger and Rio. CM Punk versus The Undertaker. Now, I know they have permission from Paul Bearer's sons on everything they've done, so it's not like they're doing it without permission, but wow, some of the stuff they're doing, especially this past Monday. I actually did not get to see it, but I just read about it, about what happened, about how he just poured the ashes on the Taker, rubbed the ashes on his face. I'm just like, that's maybe a little extreme, a little too far. I mean, granted, that makes Punk look like a terrible, horrible person that deserves to get his face kicked in. But I mean, how far do you go? Just for a wrestling match, how far do you go? Of course, WWE has never been one to be subtle. They always want to push the boundaries, push the limits. And I have to wonder how much of that was CM Punk's ideas. I'm not going to say I'm okay with it, because I'm kind of not okay with it, but when you look at it, it's really making Punk a hateable guy. A guy you just hate, and you want to see him get his face beat in. And really, what's the essence of a heel? Even the heels that you like Dolph Ziggler. I'll say this. Edge is awesome. But when he was a heel, I was like, man, I don't like you. I don't like you. I like you, but I don't like you. If they can do that, that's knowing they got you. They can, I like CM Punk. I am a Punk mark. I am. But he does things that make me hate him. That makes me want to see him get hit. That's good. So I'm not condoning, I'm not saying what they did wasn't tacky, wasn't cheap. I'm not saying that, because it probably was. But in retrospect, it's making Punk a hateable guy, a hateable villain, that the fans want to see get his face kicked in. So, while, yeah, it's controversial, I can see where they're coming from, I guess. And if this makes me sound terrible, forgive me. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a little extreme. I mean, yeah, you don't just disrespect the guy, you don't disrespect the legend, but he's making you hate him. And ultimately, I think that's the point. CM Punk doesn't want you to like him. He knows he's facing The Undertaker, who's loved by everybody, so he needs to be hated. So, while it's not really tasteful, it's kind of not classy, but I mean, you still hate the guy. So, I don't fully agree with it, but I understand why they're doing it. So, with that out the way, okay, let's move on. Punk and Taker. Okay. Ever since WrestleMania 24, people forget about Edge versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 24, which is a fantastic match. Ever since that, Undertaker's always, every year, the Undertaker match at WrestleMania has been at least 4.5 stars. I mean, it's been tremendous every single year. And I expect nothing different versus CM Punk. I expect this to be, it could very well be the best match on the night. It could be. The atmosphere is going to be outrageous, I think. It's going to be amazing. Punk is inside Undertaker's head. And that's the thing. We go into this thinking, okay, it's WrestleMania, it's Undertaker, he's going to win. You know, he's going to keep the streak intact. But it's the threat, it's the belief that maybe this is the year. Maybe, just maybe, Taker will lose. And for the past few years, we've had that. That's why the matches have been so good. Because several times throughout the match, we were like, oh God, this is it. Oh crap. Oh no. The past 2 years I watched WrestleMania. Both Triple H matches at 27 and 28. There were several times where it was like, oh God, this is it. This is it. He's done. I was on the edge of my seat because I literally thought they were going to pull the trigger, they were going to end the streak. Of course, that didn't happen, but still, the way they had the match, just the drama and the intensity, you really thought Taker was going to lose. So, and I have no doubt it's going to be the same this year. They're both going to bust their butt. It's going to be a tremendous match, and you're really going to think Taker's going to lose. Will he? He better not. I'm in the camp that believes the Undertaker streak should never end. Should not. You know, it's a part of his character. It's a part of what makes Undertaker the Undertaker. You know, he has one of the greatest streaks in sports. Not just, I mean, actual legitimate sport reporters have said how Undertaker's streak is like one of the most awesome things in sports. You know, it's part of the Undertaker mythos, part of the Undertaker legacy. You know, it's a part of him. And yeah, I know if he were to lose at WrestleMania, if the streak were not intact, then yeah, he'd still be a legend. He will still be a bona fide legend, Hall of Famer, icon, phenom, whatever you want to call him. I know. But it's the streak that just gives him that extra little bump up. You know? I know he's great without it. And he arguably may not need the streak. But I think it's just a part of him that if you take away, it's a totally different character. It's not the same. You know? Now, if the streak has to end, I think it needs to be to somebody who, you know, a young guy that they're establishing. I mean, because if you're a young wrestler and you beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, wow, you will be hated. You will be a heel for the rest of your life. You will be over. They will not like you. But I just don't want to see it happen. I love CM Punk to death, but I do not want to see him be Undertaker. Undertaker needs to win, and I think he will win. Because I just don't want to see that streak end. That's it. It's going to be a great match. There's going to be some legitimate fear that Taker will lose, but he's not. At least I hope he doesn't. Like I said, these past few years, there's been some doubt that he wasn't going to win, but I just really don't want to see that streak end. I really don't. Alright, and now, the big one. The one that's 1 year in the making? 2 years in the making? Once in a lifetime. John Cena versus The Rock. WWE Championship. I don't do this anymore. Okay. I did not want to see John Cena versus The Rock again. Yes, the first one last year was amazing. That was great. But that's the thing. That was like capturing lightning in a bottle. You know? You can't replicate that. Will Rock and Cena be good? Yes. It will be a good match. But it will not be the same. It can't be. It will not be a 5-star classic. It will not. It simply can't. Last year you had the year-long build. You had the right crowd, the right atmosphere. Everything just clicked. It was special. Because for the first time ever, you had... I gotta turn that lightsaber off. For the first time, at least in our generation, we had an icon from the previous generation, from the Attitude Era, The Rock, take on an icon of today. It was the modern day Hulk Hogan versus The Rock, WrestleMania 18. It was modern day. 10 years later, Rock and Cena. Wow. Rock and Hogan, WrestleMania 18, 2002. 10 years later, 2012. Rock and Cena. Anyway, everything just clicked. It was right. So, when the sequel was announced, when they were going to do it again, it was like, no, you can't do that. You know, because you just can't. You can't replicate it. It was what it was, and that's, leave it at that. Leave it at that. I mean, it was once in a lifetime. You put once in a lifetime on your freaking, was your tagline. And here you go, 1 year later, you're doing the same thing over again. But wait, it's for the WWE title. Having said all that, this match, it does have a different feel to it. This year, it feels more personal. Last year, it was trying to one-up each other when it came to lady parts versus Fruity Pebbles. Now it's, John Cena trying to redeem himself, while The Rock trying to be like, hey man, I beat you once, I'm going to do it again. And this Rock constantly reminding that Cena, hey, I beat you. And Cena trying to, redeem himself, trying to get his redemption. Is John Cena turning heel? People have been talking about that. Oh my lord! Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm coming! Leave me alone! Anyway. And I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. How ironic is that? So, people have been thinking about, is John Cena turning heel? I listened to his promo this past Monday on Raw. He said some things that made me think, what's going to happen on Sunday? It's very intriguing to think about. Now, no, he's not turning heel, because WWE doesn't have the balls to do that. But still, just the thought, just the fact that he's bringing a little more edge to his character for the storyline is really cool. No, John Cena is not turning heel. If he does, I will come on here and I will say, you know what? I was wrong. But I don't think I am. They've had several chances to turn him heel in the past, never did it. They're not going to do it. I don't see a John Cena heel turn WrestleMania, but if it happens, I will come here and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. So, ultimately, I don't want to feel like this match never should have happened. I don't think it should happen. I still, while the build-up has been really good, I still say it shouldn't happen. Brock and Cena was what it was, leave it alone. But of course, they have to do a rematch, of course. And they're probably going to do a third match too. A trilogy. Whatever. I don't want to see that, but whatever. Like I said, it's going to be a good match, but it is not going to be as good as WrestleMania 28. It just isn't going to feel the same. It's not going to have the same atmosphere, nothing. But it's still probably going to be a really good match. Who needs the win more? Personally, I'd rather see, someone else going for the WWE title, but because when I say who needs to win more, neither of them. John Cena is the Hulk Hogan of the modern era. The Rock is The Rock. Neither of them need to win. They're good. So who's going to win? John Cena. I do think John Cena is going to win this. And then they're going to have a rematch again. And we'll get there when we get there. I don't mean to sound too hard on the match, but it's just not going to be as good as last year. It simply can't. Much like every John Cena CM Punk match has been awesome, but never will they replicate Money in the Bank 2011. That was a special moment in time that's never going to be replicated. No matter how many times John Cena and CM Punk face, no matter how many great matches they got to have, it's not going to be as good as Money in the Bank 2011. That's just how it is. Same thing here. Cena Rock will be good. Not as good as last year. So, as a whole, how is WrestleMania 29 going to do? If booked properly, if booked right, this could be one of the best WrestleManias in recent memory. It could be. I mean, we don't know. Like I said, the build-up hasn't been awesome, but it's WrestleMania, so hopefully that alone, they can realize that it's WrestleMania, so we need to put on a great show. Last year's was a bit of a disappointment. This year, I'm hoping it's not going to be a disappointment, but hey, you never know when it comes to WWE. So yeah, this has been my WrestleMania 29 predictions. Hope you all have a good time watching it on Sunday. I hope me and my friends will on Sunday. And sometime next week, I will hopefully have the review up for you. I'll try to have Jason and Blake with me that time. And yeah, so for now, I'm Jacob, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.